Three important Marian events occurred in Paris in the beginning of the 19th century, and all three of them was connected to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. The first one was the apparitions of Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal, when Our Lady gave the Miraculous Medal to St. Catherine Labouré in the year 1830. The third one was the apparition of Our Lady to Sister Justine when Our Lady gave the green scapula in the year 1840. The second one occurred in the year 1836 in the parish of Our Lady of Victories, Paris, and because of this, the parish converted into a great center of Marian devotion for the French people. So in this video, we are seeing about the history of Notre des Victories, Paris, and also the apparition of Our Lady and the consecration of the parish to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. Notre des Victories is an historic Marian shrine and a place of pilgrimage constructed by King Louis XIII. The construction was begun as an abbey church and constructed between the years 1629 and 1740. It was the Augustinians, known as the Little Fathers, who asked the king for the money to build a new convent. The king responded to their appeal and built them the church. Its name, Our Lady of Victories, was given by the King Louis XIII. He dedicated and consecrated the church to the Blessed Virgin under this title, Our Lady of Victories, in recognition of all the victories he had won by her protection both over the rebellious heretics and over the enemies of his kingdom, and above all in remembrance of the victory over the Protestants of La Rochelle. On Sunday, December 9, the king laid the foundation stone in the presence of the lords of the court and the city's magistrates. The construction was completed in the year 1740. Even after 23 years of marriage, King Louis XIII and his wife didn't have a baby, so the king and the people were praying for the birth of his heir. Brother Fiacre was one of the Augustinian monks. He also was praying for the long-awaited heir of the throne. It is to him that the Blessed Mother appeared together with the child Jesus. Our Lady appeared to Brother Fiacre on 4 occasions, accompanied by the royal child, then by the child Jesus. The Blessed Mother was surrounded by a beautiful and pleasant light with the child in her arms. She is dressed in a blue dress, strewn with stars, her hair hanging on her shoulders. She was seen sitting on a chair. She said to Brother Fiacre, "My child, do not be afraid. I am the Mother of God." Hearing this, he threw himself to the ground to adore the child Jesus Our Lady was holding in her arms, thinking that it was the child Jesus. The Blessed Mother told him, "My child, it is not my son. It is a child that God wants to give to France." Our Lady also told Brother Fiacre that 3 novenas should be prayed, one to Our Lady of Graces, one to Our Lady of Paris, and one to Our Lady of Victories. This first vision lasted for 15 minutes, and with these words, Our Lady and the child disappeared. The message got reached to the king and queen, and the command of Our Lady was fulfilled on December 5 in the year 1637. Months later, on September 5, the year 1638, the Queen gave birth to a son, Louis XIV. During the French Revolution, terror was extended throughout France. The Augustinians were expelled from their convent, and the Church of Our Lady of Victories was established as a place for money exchange. Many things have changed. Finally, between 1800 and 1809, the church was re-erected as parish. But because it was located in a business neighborhood and lack of faith in people after the revolution, the church had very little attendance. All the efforts of many priests did not help the situation. The church was open, but the hearts of men were away from God. It is in this period of time, on August 27th in the year 1832, Father Charles was appointed as the pastor of Our Lady of Victories. The spiritual state of the parish was so poor that the priest on the following Sunday counted only 4 persons in the church with the choir, and during the entire year of the year 1835, only 720 Holy Communions were distributed. This continued for 4.5 years, and all the efforts of Father Charles didn't produce any fruit. The father started to get depressed because of this. One day, while celebrating the Holy Mass in the main altar, he was pronouncing the liturgical prayer of the day. While pronouncing the words, "Judge me, O Lord," the priest sensed an interior awakening. He was thinking, if the Lord was going to judge me today, how would he find me? Perhaps as a failure? Has there been a priest so sterile in his ministry like me? The priest asked himself interiorly all these questions. All this was going on in his mind, and the priest was not able to concentrate on the Holy Mass. Finally, the priest decided that him resigning as a pastor would be best. When he started praying the Eucharistic prayer, he made great effort to concentrate and recollect himself during the moment of the consecration. At this moment, he heard clearly these words, "Consecrate your parish to the Holy and Immaculate Heart of Mary." When Father Charles heard these words, he immediately felt great interior peace. He concluded the Mass. Later on, he said to himself that maybe it's just his imagination. After some time, he again heard the same words, "Consecrate your parish to the Holy and Immaculate Heart of Mary." The priest again tried to ignore the words, but the words returned to his mind again and again. Finally, he decided to respond to the words and resolved to fully obey the words. To consecrate the parish to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, he need to motivate the parishioners to pray to the Immaculate Heart of Mary and frequently seek the protection and care of the Blessed Virgin. So Father Charles thought the best way to establish this was to form a religious association with special prayers and meetings. In only 8 days, he got approval for this from the Archbishop of Paris. On Sunday, December 11th, Father Charles announced about the special prayers and devotions to the Immaculate Heart of Mary. That afternoon, only 10 men attended Mass, so the priest thought that not many people are going to attend for the special prayers at 6 p.m. After Mass, 2 men who had never attended Mass approached Father Charles and requested the sacrament of confession. And at 6 p.m., the time announced for the prayers and devotions to the Immaculate Heart of Mary, 400 to 500 people made their presence in the church. Everyone was surprised and could not believe the number of people present, where no more 10 people had been seen in the parish for many years. At the end, everyone united their voices, singing the litanies of Our Lady and divine praises before the Blessed Sacrament. The association continued growing gradually and extended throughout Paris, later throughout the rest of France.